You put the right words together and you build images. The laws never change. This whole universe is run by law. The laws never change, ever. But they all buy into the same concepts. And of course, you can tell by the results they get. They get great results. Well, they won't settle for anything but what they want. Now, when you want something, you can't let other people's level of performance dictate your wants. You've got to get what you want. You've got to go after what you want. And sometimes you'll be considered unreasonable. That's okay. Don't let that bother you. What somebody else thinks of you is not important. It's what you think of you that's important. See, that's another part of the paradigm. I thought there was security in a job. You see? Now, if you think there's security in a job and you lose your job, you're toast, because then you're going to be totally demoralized. If you haven't got security inside, you haven't got it. That's an inside job. I'll give this up, but what about? No. Let go. When you're going ahead, the only thing you can measure is what you're giving up. What about what's coming? You know what's coming? What you want. But you've got to be able to pay the price. You've got to have guts. If you haven't got guts, you don't deserve it. You think when a person getting terrible results that they know they're doing something wrong. You know something? A lot of people don't know. It wasn't too long before I wouldn't have known that. They're getting bad results. They're trying to pretend like they're getting good results. They're putting on a front because they are afraid of what you think. I was at the point now where I really didn't care too much about what people thought. I was learning what was really important is what I think. The results always tell the truth. I don't care why you say you're getting them. The results tell the truth. What's going on outside is a reflection of what's going on inside. James Allen put it very well. He said, mind is the master power that molds and makes, and man is mind. And evermore he takes the tool of thought, and shaping what he wills, brings forth 1,000 joys, 1,000 ills. We think in secret, and it comes to pass. Environment is but our looking glass. The world's telling us what's going on inside, because what's going on outside is a reflection of what's going on inside. If you don't like what's going on outside, you better change the inside. And if you don't know how to do that, you better learn how to do it, because the outside isn't going to change until you do it. You can blame other people. You can blame the company. You can blame the country. You can blame the politicians. If it's not going right outside, it's what's going on inside. This is very important we understand this. I remember when I walked in, there was a biblical quotation on the wall. It says, seest thou a man diligent in his business, and he'll stand before kings. And there was a picture of Earl being presented to Queen Elizabeth. So I thought, that's accurate, literally, right up to today. He was diligent in his business. Here he was, standing before the Queen of England. Now, some people say, well, that's no big deal. Well, but it makes that biblical quotation literally accurate. And I remember when I was leaving, I said, Earl, what's the big deal? He made me feel pretty comfortable real fast. He said, there isn't any big deal. He said, there isn't any secret. Now, of course, I knew that from his record, the strangest secret, the strangest secret. He says it's strange because there isn't a secret. He said, the real trick is to figure out what you love to do and then dedicate your life to it. And he started to teach me some things. And everything I had studied over 10 years, just, it was all coming together. I could walk by you and I can tell you what you're like. If we're in a dark room and I shook hands with you, I could describe your personality very, very accurately. What's going on the inside shows on the outside. That thing sitting in the chair with you, you call your body, it's an instrument of the mind. It obeys the operations of the mind. Your body tells a story. Life is very short. You're not here for a long time. You're only here for a short time. Every one of us are hardwired to do something phenomenal with our life. We're God's highest form of creation. We should start doing it. Hill points out right there, what do you need? You need specialized knowledge. Then he points out here, he said, before you can be sure of your ability to transmute desire into its monetary equivalent, you will require specialized knowledge. Ray pointed this out to me. He said, look at this. He said, the accumulation of great fortunes calls for power. Now, prior to that, what did he say? He said, you need specialized knowledge. However, down further, here he points out, the accumulation of great fortunes calls for power. And power is acquired through highly organized and intelligently directed specialized knowledge, but that knowledge does not necessarily have to be in the possession of the person who accumulates the fortune. Do you know what you need? You need a team. You need a damn good team of people, and you need to trust them. And if they betray you, you kill them. Mentally, they're gone from your mind. You do not let the betrayal stick in your mind. And you don't let them stick in your mind. You mentally kill them. Let it go. Forgive it. That's what forgive means, to let go of completely, abandon any situation. He said there's a 3-step approach. It is what it is, accept it. It's either going to control you or you're going to control it. It is what it is. Accept it. It's either going to
All right, guys, let's get this call started. Here we go. And there we are. Grand Rising Familia. Happy Thursday. Super excited to be here. It is October 3rd, and it is a great day for us to get better. It is a great day for us to become better versions of ourselves. And I'm just super blessed and grateful to be here today. Thank you guys so much for, making this call a priority on this beautiful Thursday morning. Real quick, let's take this time real quick to send out the link and send out this YouTube, to a friend, a family member. Drop it in your group chats. Let everybody know that we are live on YouTube right now. I am very, very excited for today's call. Any day we get a chance to, grow, become better versions of ourselves, new information is always a pleasure, right? Because, we get a chance to pour into each other. We get a chance to learn different ideas, that can lead us to other things that can allow us to grow and become better versions of ourselves. So, I'm actually very excited for it. So I hope that everybody's having a good week so far. I hope everybody has had a good start to the month of October. Most importantly, yesterday I sat here at this table and I was here for a couple of hours, and I just give you guys a little bit of an update. But I've been doing this brain dump, and yesterday, since I've been traveling, I had been doing some travels, do the tour. Whether there was a couple of things that I had, just put to the side and I hadn't made a priority yet. So yesterday I did a brain dump, a big brain dump. No, 2 days ago I did a big brain dump. And what I did was on October 1st, a brain dump is basically where you take a piece of paper and you write down all the things you got to do for this week that are important to you. So I wrote down a bunch of stuff, a lot of things I had to get done, like flights I had to buy, people I had to call, things I had to set up, group chats, this, that, bunch of stuff, right? And what I do is once I'm done writing down the big brain dump, I think I wrote down, I'm at a total of 20 something things, like 23 things that I have to get done. Then what I do is I take all of them and then I organize them from most important to least important. Okay. And then I start knocking them out, right? So, I bought my flights, I bought this, I took care of that. And it feels good now because a lot of these things that I once kept in my head are now on paper, and now I'm completing them, and I could just feel, a lot of the weight that is being taken off my shoulders because, I did this brain dump. So, if you guys are into brain dumps, if you're looking to find a way to be more productive, get rid of some of the weight that may be on your shoulders from all the things that you've been putting to the side, or procrastinating, I highly recommend the brain dump. Obviously this is not my training for today, but I wanted to give you guys a little bit of a tip that I've used over the last, 2 days that has really allowed me to, get clear in my mind, get some important tasks done, and just most importantly, be more productive. Okay. Because a lot of the times our lack of productivity comes from brain clutter, right? And a lot of the brain clutter that we have is from things that we have to get done that we haven't got done, or things that we've been putting to the side, or all these things. And trust me guys, once you clear a lot of that clutter, it changes a lot for you. Like, for example, one of the things that I did yesterday was I did a whole budget sheet. I did a whole budget sheet where I sat down and I went into my bank and I printed out, all my statements. Not printed it out, but I wrote it down physically myself. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna write it down and I'm gonna, basically, see where all my money's going. And, I realized a lot. I realized places where I could save money. I realized of, certain subscriptions that I have been paying for the last couple of months that have been taking money out of my account. I just realized how much money I was spending on food and a lot of things. So, it was good to see those things, right? And like I said, I'm only sharing this with you guys because these are some of the things that I've done over the last couple of days that have really allowed me to put a lot of things into perspective for myself so that I can go into this last quarter of the year more intentional, more, more clear-headed, and just be able to approach this last quarter with the right intentions, with the right mentality, with the right everything, right? So just some ideas, guys. Take advantage of it. Like I said, that to-do list that I did, that brain dump, has helped me a lot. Budgeting was something that was key for me. Buying all the flights, paying off tickets, reaching out to certain people that I had to reach out to. A lot of those things were very, very important to me. So, just an idea there. Brain dumping is very, very important and it's helping me out a lot. I hope it helps you out as well. All right. Now, let's get started with today's call. I have a really good training for you guys here today. One of my favorite trainings. I usually do this training once or twice a year. But, I was thinking about it today and I was like, what I actually thought about it yesterday. I was like, what am I going to talk about with the family on, YouTube tomorrow? And, it's funny because I had saw this reel that was very similar to the one that I'm going to be talking about today. And I'm like, wow, I haven't done that training in a long time. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to do that training tomorrow. So today I'm going to be going over the 5 hard pills to swallow in life. Okay. And these are just, situations in our lives that we need to come and accept, right? It is one of those things that in life we have no control over those things. We need to learn how to accept these things into our lives. And I remember when I first heard this training, it put a lot of things into perspective for me, because I was the one that would think that things had to be this way or that they had to be my way. But in reality, I had to accept that they were going to be what they were going to be. And that's what a hard pill to swallow in life is, that, hey, look, I have no control over this. Okay. It's not in my control, but I got to accept it for what it is. Right. So those are what the 5 hard pills to swallow in life are. And I want to cover them on today's call so that way we can go into this next quarter of life, not expecting anything from anyone or anything in particular, and just understand where life is headed. All right. So if you guys are ready for that, put some 5s in the chat so we can get this call rocking and we can get this going. All right. So let's get right into the first one. Okay. The first hard pill to swallow is this. All right. It's no one's responsibility to make you happy. All right. That's the first hard pill to swallow. It's no one's responsibility to make you happy. Write that one down. It's no one's responsibility to make you happy. Okay. Happiness comes from within, which means you can't wait for someone else to make you happy. You can't wait for you to hit an accomplishment or anything in your life for you to be happy. Happiness comes from within yourself. Okay. So, in order for you to do that, there has to be a certain level of self love with yourself. Okay. My mentor once told me, he said, Nano, you can't love other people if you don't love yourself. You got to learn how to love yourself first. Okay. So it's your responsibility to make you happy, not no one else's responsibility. A girl can make you happy. A team can make you happy. An accomplishment can make you happy. You have to make yourself happy. And a lot of the times in life, we live in this generation and we live in this society now where we think that the external things is what's going to make us happy. Okay. But it's not. It's the internal work that has to happen. And this is why we must learn to spend more time with ourselves. We need to learn how to love ourselves. We need to learn how to put ourselves in a position to grow ourselves on a day-to-day basis, because I've realized that the more happy that I am with myself, the better life is. Okay. The better life is, because guess what? I'm happy. I'm growing myself. My body's where I want it to be at. I'm pouring into myself on a day-to-day basis. I'm making myself a priority. And I've always tell people, all right, you have to learn how to be selfish before you can be selfless. It's okay to be selfish. All right. Because if you're not selfish, in a healthy way, then, it's going to be hard for you to be selfless to other people. It's going to be hard for you to love and help and serve others if you're not selfish with yourself. And what I mean by selfish with yourself is, you got to make yourself a priority. You got to know that, hey, every day I got to work on me. I got to pour into me. I got to help me. I got to be in the gym. I got to eat the right foods. I got to love myself. Because how are you going to love others if you don't love you? How are you going to be an example to others if you're not the example yourself? How are you going to lead others if you haven't led yourself? So it's no one's responsibility to make you happy. You got to make yourself happy. And this was something that I had to learn at the beginning of my journey, because I used to be the one that said, oh, when I become a millionaire, I'll be happy. When I'm at the best version of myself, I'll be happy. When I'm strong and when I have my dream body, I'll be happy. Those were the statements that I would say. Think about that. When I have $1 million, I'll be happy. When I have my dream body, I'll be happy. When I become the best version of myself, I'll be happy. So I'm going to wait till those things happen to be happy? No, I got to learn how to be happy now. I got to understand the importance, now. All right. But this is something I want you guys all to write down right here. God can't give you a blessing if you look like a disaster. God will not bless you if you look like a disaster. You have to love yourself and you got to be happy with yourself in order for God to bless you. God won't bless you looking like a disaster. So if you're all over the place and you're unhappy and you're not the best version of yourself and you're not focusing on yourself and you don't love yourself, no blessings are coming in, guys. That's the unfortunate truth. Okay? That is a very, very unfortunate truth right there. God will not bless you if you look like a disaster. So there needs to be an incredible amount of work on you during these times. There has to be. I had to learn that, because I was asking God to bless me when I looked like a disaster. But now that I look back and I think about it, I'm like, why would God ever bless me if I was unhappy? I was sad. I was stressed. I wasn't making myself a priority. I didn't love myself. I wasn't in the gym. I wasn't doing what I was required to do. So because of that, there was no blessings coming in, because like I said, God won't bless me looking like a disaster. The only way that God is going to bless me is when I love myself, when I'm happy with myself, when I feel good about myself, when I'm working to become the best version of myself, when I'm strong, I'm knowledgeable, I got the wisdom, I'm going out there and I'm showing up every single day like the disciplined individual that I am. That's when God is going to bless me. And that was a hard pill for me to swallow at first, because I thought that the external things were going to make me happy. But what I realized, what made me the happiest was me becoming a better version of me working on me. Okay, self-love is the best love. Learn to love you. Trust me, guys, is the best decision you'll ever make in life. You will never need no one else's love. Like, yeah, you'll appreciate other people's love, But as long as you love yourself, everything else comes. Because remember, the outside is a reflection of the inside. Okay. So as long as you love yourself, everything else will be love outside. Love yourself. But Nano, how do I love myself? How can I love myself more? Making yourself a priority. Making you a priority. Get in the gym, pour into yourself, do what's required on a day-to-day basis. Until I didn't do this, I didn't realize how important it was to love myself. Because I made life about everybody else. I made my life about everybody, about my friends, family, this, that, right? When in reality, all I had to learn how to do was make me a priority. So the first hard pill to swallow is, it's no one's responsibility to make you happy. The biggest thing you can do for yourself and your happiness is give yourself the time to grow and raise your level of awareness on the day-to-day basis. Remember, happiness comes from within. All right. That's number one. Number two, let's go to number two real quick because this one's a tough one too. All right. This one was one of the hardest ones for me. Number two is hard pill to swallow. Number two, not everyone thinks like you. What makes sense to you won't make sense to everyone else. That one was hard for me. Very hard for me. Not everyone is going to think like you. Not everyone's going to act like you. Not everyone's going to be on the same type of time as you. This one for me, in all reality, was probably one of the hardest ones to swallow. Because, I'm a very ambitious person. And I'm also very disciplined. And I'm also, believe it or not, I'm very aggressive when it comes towards my goals. So I'm the kind of person that I'm willing to do whatever it takes. I'm willing to invest as much as it takes. I'm willing to work as hard as it takes. But not everybody's like that. Not everybody's willing to go hard. Not everybody's willing. Not everybody is that. And you have to understand that. You have to come to the terms that not everybody is going to move at the same pace as you. You may want to run and you may want to sprint, but some people just want to walk. Unfortunately, there's some people that just want to walk. And you got to let the walkers be the walkers. You got to let the ones that want to jog be the joggers. And you got to let the sprinters be the sprinters. Okay? That's okay. That's what I've had to learn. Now I'm more understanding of it because I'm an alpha. Okay? So because I'm an alpha, I wanted everybody else to be an alpha around me. And I couldn't understand why they would choose not to be an alpha. I'm like, yo, why else would you choose to be anything else? Like, don't you want to accomplish your goals? Like, don't you want this now? Don't you want to retire your friends? I mean, your family and stuff. Like, it would bother me. Because, I had friends around me that they're like, yo, I want to retire my mom and dad. I want to do this. I want to do that. But they weren't willing to put the work in. And if I'm honest, still to this day, it kind of bothers me. Because I'm like, yo, you really want these things that you say you want, but you're not doing anything to go get it. You're not doing anything to go get it. You're still doing everything that you're not supposed to be doing still to this day. It bothers me still to this day, if I'm honest with you guys, right? Because at the end of the day, you guys got to understand that if you're not doing what's required on a day-to-day basis, then what's really happening here? You got to put yourself in a position where you sit down and you're like, not everybody's going to think like me. Not everybody's going to act like me. Not everybody is going to move at the same pace as me. And like I said, you got to let the alphas be the alphas. You got to let the betas be the betas. All my mentor said is don't be Charlie, because Charlie's the one that usually stays stuck at the same place. But this is a hard pill to swallow sometimes. Find the alphas and work with the alphas. That's what I've done. I found my alphas. I work with my alphas. I do my best to encourage. Okay. I do my best to encourage. Get down. Come on, get down. I do my best to encourage All right, my betas to be alphas, and then I let the Charlies be Charlies. Okay, you got to understand that, guys. And remember, not everybody's going to move at the same pace as you. Don't try to force people. You can be the example for people, okay? But don't try to force people, okay, to move at the same pace as you. You can encourage them, you can communicate with them, you can let them know, hey, look, this is the type of time that I'm on, okay? And the moment that they show you who they are, let them be that. Because one thing I tell you, you will spend a lot of time, okay, focused on people that don't want to move when you could be focused on the people that do want to move. My mentor told me this and I never forgot it. I want you guys to write this down, okay? Go where your time is deserved, not needed. I'm going to repeat it again. Go where your time is deserved, not needed. A lot of people need your time. A lot of people don't deserve your time. So don't go where your time is needed. Go where your time is deserved. Spend time with the people that deserve your time. We're very open to give people what they need. See, me as a leader, that was a hard pill for me to swallow because, as a leader, you want to help everybody. But the thing is that sometimes people as a leader, they take your help for granted because they needed your help, but in reality, they didn't deserve your help. So now what I've done over the years, I only go and work with people that really deserve my time. I know this person deserves my time. And how do you know if someone's deserving of the time? Well, through their actions, they'll tell you everything. For example, okay, I know as a leader, we have a call. We have a call Mondays and Thursdays. Okay. If I look in the chat and I see who's there, I'm gonna pay attention to who's on the call. All right. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, this person's on the call. This person's taking notes. This person has their camera on. This person's showing up. This person is posting in the chat. Okay, this person is deserving. Okay. You know why? Because this person is doing what's required. Now, there's this person over here that may need my time. They may want my time, but they're never on the calls. They're never participating in the chat. They're never doing what they're supposed to do. Okay. I'd rather work with this person that deserves my time than the person that just needs my time. Okay. Because at the end of the day, I don't want to put too much time into somebody that eventually is going to take me for granted. Because that has happened to me a lot in this business. A lot of people have taken my time for granted because I've only gone towards the people that needed my time. I was a big yes man. Yeah, you need my time? Let's do it. Yes, 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 yes. And what happens is you spend so much time on the people that need your time that you actually take away from the time that you could be giving to the people that deserve your time. And then what happens to the people that really do deserve your time? They're looking at that and they're like, wait, I deserve this time, but they're giving it to people that are not even showing up, that are absent, that don't participate in the chat, that are not doing what they're supposed to do. Then guess what? The people that deserve your time start thinking like, well, I'm going to just act like those people. I'm going to just act like those people. Because you're trying to get betas to be alphas. You're trying to get people that are not on the same time as you to be on the same time as you. And that's not how it works, guys. Go where your time is deserved, not needed. And not saying that you shouldn't help the people that need your time. You'll find people there. You'll find people that eventually go from need to deserve, but don't spend too much time here. Spend more time here because the more time you spend with the people here is going to encourage the people that need your time to be like, yo, how can I deserve your time? Because that's what has happened, right? I've went from, okay, yo, I'm only focusing on the people that deserve my time. So the people that needed my time were watching, were like, wait, I want to deserve Nano's time. What do I got to do? So now the people that weren't showing up are now showing up. The people that weren't participating are now participating, right? And this is something we all got to learn because this applies to anything in life. This applies to our friends. This applies to our family. This applies to everything. Okay. It's important to see this. Okay. Go where your time is deserved, not needed. Those that want to run, run with the runners. Those that want to walk, let them walk. I always tell people, I won't walk with you. Maybe I'll jog with you, but I'm running right now. I'm not. I don't have. Remember, guys, some people don't have the time to jog. I don't have the time to walk. Where I want to go to, I want to get there in the next 6 or 12 months. So if you're not on that same type of time, it's okay. I still love you. I still appreciate you. I still mentor you from afar, but I need to get to work. I need to be up early. I need to go to sleep late. I got to do the work. I got to read the books. I got to do the presentations. I got to get uncomfortable. If you just want to be chilling, taking your time, you want to be on vacation, you want to be in love with your girlfriend, your boyfriend, and live your life right now, and that's what you want to do, that's fine, but don't drag me into that. Let me go run. Let me go be up early. Let me grind my face off. Let me do what's required so I can get to my goals. I got people counting on me. My parents are already reaching their 70s. Okay, so when people ask me, well, Neno, bro, you're a little bit too aggressive, it's because you guys are not in the same situation as me. I got to make this happen now. My parents are not in their 50s and in their 40s and 50s where I have time and I can take my time a little bit. No, 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 no. I got to make this happen now. I got to give them the life that I promised them and I told them I would give them now. I want them to be retired, living in their beautiful villa in the Dominican Republic so they can enjoy the rest of their lives in abundance and freedom. You know, they spend their whole lives working. So for me, it's like, I don't got time to waste. You understand? Like, I don't have time to waste. So the reason I move the way that I move is because of that. I don't have time to waste. Every day counts. Every second counts. Every minute counts. And I've had to understand that everybody is not going to move at the same pace as me because not everybody's in the same situation as me. Okay. And that's okay. And that's a hard pill for people to swallow. Okay. That's a hard pill for people to swallow sometimes. I don't know if it is for you guys, but it was for me. Because, like I said, I wanted everybody to move at the same pace as me. I wanted everybody to be in savage mode. Let's go. Let's wake up early. Let's grind all day. Let's cut off all distractions. Zero weekends, zero parties, no drinking, no this. Like, I wanted everybody to be like that. But then I had to realize that not everybody's at the same season as me. And you need to understand that your season is your season and their season is their season. All you can do is be the best example and hope that they follow. And those that follow will, and those that don't, let them be who they want to be. Okay. That's the second hard pill to swallow. Put a 2 in the chat box if you guys understand what I'm saying when it comes to that, right? That's a good one right there. And that one was still to this day, still the hardest one for me to swallow, honestly. Because, like I said, guys, you want everybody to move at the same pace as you, but not everybody will. Not everybody will, unfortunately. Other people have things to take care of. Other people have kids. Other people have, school that they still got to take care of. And I'm like, okay, like, so I've just learned to just let people be and let people do what they want to do. Because I don't want ever people to be like, yo, Neno's the type of person to force me and stuff. And Neno this, Neno that. I don't ever want anybody to say that about me. I just tell people, hey, you wanna walk, fine. That's okay with me. Like, I've learned, because you know what it was about me before? I would try to drag you. You want to walk? And I'm like, yo, come run with me. Come run with me. I would try to drag you and I would spend so much time trying to drag people to work. And guess what? If you spend so much time dragging people to work, then you're spending so much energy trying to drag people to work on themselves, drag people to do what's required. And eventually you spend all your energy on that when you could have spent all your energy running with the people that want to run. Imagine trying to drag somebody up a hill, drag people up a hill, Nah, bro, I'd rather run up the hill. And if you see me running up, and I hope I inspire you to run up the hill. That's how you got to do, guys, and understand that that's going to be the reality. And I pray that everybody on this call, you're the runners. I pray no one on this call is walking. I pray anybody that's listening to this call, for the 150 plus people we have on today's call, I hope none of you guys are just running. I mean, sorry, are just walking. Everybody here needs to be running the play right now. Go run the play. The second pill was not everyone thinks like you. What makes sense to you won't make sense to everyone else. And that's okay. Remember, guys, write this down. And those who were seen dancing, okay, were thought to be insane by those who could not hear the music. One of my favorite quotes of all time. And those who were seen dancing were thought to be insane by those who cannot hear the music. No, number 3 has not been said. And those who were seen dancing were thought to be insane by those who could not hear the music. Okay, I'm dancing. I'm happy. I'm excited. I'm blessed. I'm working towards it every single day. And some people may not understand why I'm dancing, but they can't hear the music. They're not on the same type of time. They're not on the same frequency as me. They're not on the same radio channel as me. That's why I'm going so hard. That's why I'm working so hard. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm showing up every day. That's why I'm investing every day. That's why I'm doing what's required each and every single day. Because I can hear the music. I understand what's going on. All right. Others can't hear the music. And remember, you can't get people to dance that are not hearing the music. You can't get people to think like you. You can't people to act like you. All you can do is be the example to other people. And that's pill number 2. Pill number 3. All right, is no one owes you anything. You are the leader of your own life. Work for what you want because it's all on you. That's number 3. No one owes you anything. You are the leader of your own life. Work for what you want because it's on you. This one was hard for me, to be honest. You know when they say no one is coming to save you? It's true. I need you all to understand right now on this call. Ben, Nikki, Tay, Crystal, Linda, Regine, Natasha, Aisha, Myra, Eli, all of us on this call today. I'm going to keep it real with y'all right now. No one is coming to save us, fam. It's really all on us. No one is coming to save any of us. I know sometimes we think that because of the people that are around us and so on and so forth, that someone's going to come and save us and give us the magic nugget and give us the magic idea, or, they're going to come and put the work in for us, or, give us the perfect investment and put the money in the bank account and this and that. And no one owes you nothing. You got to live your life like that. Remember, you are the leader of your own life. All right. Go get it yourself. Go get it yourself. Stop depending on others for success. Go get it. You got to go get it because no one is coming to save us, fam. If you don't put the work in, no one is going to put the work in for you. If you don't retire your mom, no one's going to retire your mom and dad for you. If you don't put your kids in private school, no one's going to come and be like, here, let me put your kids in private school for you because you're such a good person. No one's going to do that. No one's going to be like, yo, you know what? Let me retire your parents for you because you're such a good person. No one's going to do that for you. That's something you got to do. I used to think that, oh, Nano, you know what? You're a good guy, bro. Maybe one day someone will retire your parents for you. It's not going to happen. No one's going to do that for you. You got to do it yourself. You got to take full responsibility for everything that is happening in your life right now. Never blame anybody. Never blame a family, a friend, none of that. Take responsibility for everything because remember, no one owes you anything. I used to think that people owed me. Yo, but I put this person on. So they should be more grateful. Nah, bro, it don't matter that you put them on. You still got to put the work in. Just because you put them on doesn't mean that they owe you anything. They don't owe you nothing. I used to think that everybody owed me because I put them on, I helped them, I guided them, I was there for them. No. No one owes you anything. You are the leader of your own life. Go work for what you want. Put in the hard work every single day. Remember, guys, the grass isn't greener on the other side. It's greener where you water it. Make sure that you're watering your side of the greens. Stop thinking that it's greener on the other side. Water where you're at. That's what's important. That was hard for me to understand as well. That was a hard pill for me to swallow. I used to think that people were going to come save me. I used to think, yo, Nano, you're such a good guy, bro. Why would anyone not want to save you? And then I realized that nobody's going to save me. After years of me realizing, like, yo, nobody's coming to save you, bro. If you don't put this work in, you'll be in the hood your whole life. No one cares. You think people care. People don't care. Remember, guys, people want to see you do good, but never better than them. Never better than them. They want to see you do good, never better than them. Because misery loves company. And that's the reality of the situation. I had to understand that, and that was a hard pill I had to swallow. I was like, damn, bro, like, these people don't want to see me do good. Nah, bro, no one wants to see. Like, yeah, they want to see you do good, but the moment you're going to be better than them, it's like the crab analogy. They're going to try to keep you in that bucket with them because, like I said, misery loves company. You got to take ownership and be like, yo, you know what? I'm running this all the way up. I was watching this reel yesterday, and I was watching this. Actually, it was a YouTube short, and it was about this guy. He was talking about his 30-day dark 30 days. And I was like, man, I need to do that again. And basically what the dark 30 days is basically for 30 days, you go dark. And what does that mean? For 30 days, you just fully focus on you. It's just sleep, wake up, gym, and study all day. No TV, no distractions, no music, no nothing. It's just you literally sleep, you wake up, you hit the gym and study all day. And you just focus on that specific skill, that specific business that you're on long. Like I'm talking about zero Netflix, zero TV, barely any social media. Social media is just there for accountability, for you to post and show your team or the people around you what you're doing as an example. And I remember it's actually been a while since I've done one of those, but back a couple of years ago, I used to do those all the time. I used to call them zero dark 30s. And I thought about it. I'm like, man, at some point before the end of the year, I got to run a 0-30 where it's like, I remember doing it. Like I would literally wake up, I would do my morning routine, right? I would wake up in the morning, do my morning routine, go to the gym, everything. And remember for the rest of the day. So people work 9 to 5. From 9 to 9, I was studying. Okay. I was studying. I was reading books. I was listening to audios. I was, studying, specific trading strategies. I had an hour that was dedicated to trading strategies. I had another hour that was dedicated to, getting better at my social media, understanding my social media strategies, creating content. Like I really dove deep in. Like there was no hour of distractions. You know what I'm saying, guys? Like it was all based off of where I was in my life. I would study crypto. I remember at the time I was also I was into like the real estate life. So I was into real estate, and all you're doing, think about this. You're obsessed. There's no distractions. There's no Instagram. There's no Netflix. There's none of that. You're just obsessed all day. You're spending time in visualization. I remember I used to spend hours. Like, because think about it. If all you're doing is waking up, if all you're doing is sleeping, gym, studying, then, I used to sneak in some imagination in between. So like in my breaks, remember, there was no time for chilling. During this time, all your focus is on getting better and better and better and better and better. So during my breaks, instead of me taking a break and like, chilling, relaxing, putting on a show, social media scrolling, I would take my breaks and it would be an imagination, and I would go visit where I was going. I would go sit down and visualize myself living in Miami, having my own apartment, living on the beach, traveling the world. And it was all about just creating my life. Guys, if you guys were to do that, just an idea, okay? You guys want to take responsibility of your life? Go 30 days dark and just do that. Be in the gym 5 days, 6 days a week. Study no chilling on the weekends. By the way, there's no DK, oh, let me chill on the weekends. Let me go out to eat and drink with my friends. None of that. None of that. And was that separate from doing your morning routine? Yeah, this was separate. Remember, I'm doing visualization and imagination in the morning, but I'm also doing it in the afternoon. I'm doing it during evenings. I'm doing it 2 or 3 times a day. Like, these are my break sessions. So during my breaks, okay, instead of me chilling, I was, at all times I had audios playing as well. So at all times, depending what I was doing, I had an audio playing in the background. Okay, sometimes I had 432 hertz playing as well. While I'm in the shower, audios. Okay, at all times, I went outside for a walk, audios, podcasts. I got in a car, podcasts. It was like there was no moment for a distraction. That's sometimes the kind of action that you got to take to change your situation. Think about it. When was the last time you did something like that? Where you could be like, yo, Nano, I went all in on myself forget 30 days. Imagine if you do it for 7 days. I know for some of you guys, it may be a little bit different because you're like, yo, Nano, I work. Well, that's fine, because guess what? If you work from 9 to 5, whatever time you work at, that's the time you can't control. But you know what you can control? The time when you wake up till the time you go to work. And then from the time that you get out of work to the time you go to bed, that's what you got to focus on. It's that simple. And it's just all about the work. Anything, there can't be no time of chilling. You see how whenever we're like, let's say bored, or, we're not doing anything, that the go-to thing to do is, let me grab my phone and let me scroll, right? That's me for the most part. Like, when I'm bored or I'm not doing anything, I'll just scroll. Back then, if I was bored, it was time to grab a book and read. The moment I was caught in like that space where there was nothing going on, let me read. Let me turn on a podcast. Let me sit down. Let me imagine for a little bit. Let me not waste my time. Let me grab my journal. Let me write down how I'm feeling. Let me write down my goals. Let me do what's required. Boom, 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 boom. Imagine if you did that. Because think about how much time we spend that is not productive or is not helping us get better. Think about how much time you spend, guys. Just if you actually sit down and think about it, you would be disgusted. Think about how much time we spend on our phones, on TV, hanging out with friends, all of it unproductive hours. And then we're the ones that say, but then I want to change my life. I want to be better. I want to make more money. I want to help my family. I want to help my kids. But we spend so much time doing non-productive things. How are we going to get to where we want to go to if we're spending all the time that God is giving us unproductively? We got to change that. We got to change that. You got to be obsessed. Some of us got to get to the point where you can become obsessed with the idea of becoming a better version of you. That's the kind of work that you're going to have to put in, because like I said, no one is coming to save you. No one is coming to save you. So if you don't take the time to put an extreme amount of focus over a certain period of time, then you'll always stay where you are. You have to rewire that whole conscious and subconscious mind. I was falling asleep to Bob Proctor, and at all times, 24 hours a day, I was growing. So even while I was sleeping, I was growing, because the moment I woke up, it was growing season. Throughout the day, it was growing season. Even during those dead periods, I was growing. While I was in the shower, growing. While I was making a meal, growing. While I was in the gym, growing. At all time of the day, it was that. I had my gold card in my pocket at all time, reading it everywhere I went, everywhere I went, everywhere I went. Always reading. I used to carry pocketbooks, right? Let me see. Damn, I don't have my book bag in here. I have pocketbooks, books that they're small enough to put in your pockets. So while I'm in the Ubers, while I'm sitting dude, I would be at dinners. You know, I do a lot of dinners and lunches by myself. So I would be at lunch or dinner by myself. And if I didn't feel like listening to the audio, I would put my earpieces in and I would listen to while I'm eating. If not, I would take out my pocketbook and I'll read because I was so obsessed with the growth. I said, yo, nobody's coming to save me. I need to grow right now. I need to elevate my life right now. I need to be in that mode. And that's the key. If you, like I said, if you really want to change your life, if you really want to get through that breakthrough, because what happens is, here's what happens, and this is the scary part. I'm gonna tell you guys something right here. Here's the scary part. A lot of us, we only do enough to consolidate. We only do enough to stay in a zone. If you want to break through and reach that next level, you're gonna have to do more than what's required. You're gonna have to do more than what's required. That's why I would do the dark 30s, because I'm like, yo, I'm just doing enough to get by. I'm not doing enough. I gotta do more than what's required. I have to do way more. Dude, I was reading, I remember those days I was reading at least 2 or 3 hours a day. Because think about it, there's times that you're just like, yo, what else do I do? And I would just be like, dude, during that time, I was reading a book a week. Just think about that. I was reading 4 books a month, I remember, during this time. Audios, I was running through them. I would read a book a week. Okay, what to say when you talk to yourself. All right. I would go to the end of the book. I would be like, okay, this book has a total of, right here, last page is 205 pages. No, 207 pages is the end of this book. So I would go on my calculator and I would be like, okay, I got to divide 207 divided by 7. Boom, it's 29.5 pages. So that means I got to read 30 pages a day to finish this book in a week. And that's what I would do. Boom. I don't care how long it took me. I could read 10 pages in the morning, 10 pages in the afternoon, 10 pages at night. I had to read the 30 pages every single day. Finish that book. Great. Boom. Let's go to the next book next week. Boom. Next book has, let me see how many pages. This book has 220 pages. Perfect. It was about the same, right? They're about the same in terms of pages, 30 to 32 pages. And every day I would read the book. Remember, I was obsessed. I'm in that mode. In my mind, no one's coming to save me. That's it. I've accepted it. I swallowed the pill. No one is coming to save Nano. No one is going to retire my mom for me. No one is going to put the work in for me. No one is going to do it for me. So I'm going to go do it myself. And I'm going to become obsessed with this idea. And back then, you know, like I said, I was living in my parents' house. So I had no other option. My mom used to get mad at me because I used to come to the dinner table with headphones on. She used to be like, Papi, why do you have headphones on? I'm like, I'm listening to something. I'm studying something right now. She's like, but she used to be like in Spanish, pero come, mi hijo, like, enfócate en comer primero. You know, she used to always tell me like, yo, focus on eating. Like, it's okay. But she didn't understand how obsessed I was. I didn't even want to hear anything. You know, I didn't even want to hear outside. I just wanted to be so involved in that. That's what it takes sometimes, guys. For some of you guys, that's what it's going to have to take. It's going to have to take an insane amount of obsession towards you becoming better. Go on a dark 30. You don't got to do 30 days. Try it for 7 days where all you do is sleep, morning routine, gym, and study. That's all I did. And every meal I ate was intentional. Every meal. Because remember, my meals is my fuel, is my gas to the car. So I remember during that time, I got into like the vegan diet for a little bit, right? I was like, I wasn't vegan, but I was like, yo, I want to feed my body with the right nutrients so that I can be able to perform the best that I can. So I didn't eat fast food, right? I stopped drinking soda. I wasn't on that type of time. My best thing was I was looking for the healthiest meals I could eat. Like, yeah, I was still having like my chicken and stuff, but and my steaks and stuff. But my thing was I wanted to just feed. I wanted to see what it was like to feed my body the right fuel. So I was drinking a bunch of green juices. I was drinking a bunch of healthy smoothies, eating a lot of healthy food, things with no seed oils, and just really focusing on healthy eating. And I realized it made a big difference. I didn't even need coffee, I remember, during those days because of the food that I was eating. I was drinking a lot of water, being very intentional. But like I said, it was because I convinced myself that no one was coming to save me. I'm like, no one's going to do this for me, so I'm going to go do it myself. And that was a hard pill for me to swallow, but that's what I did. And I'm glad that I swallowed that pill because look at what it did for me. It made me a savage. It literally made me a savage. You did the plant-based option. Yup, in the AM. I always did plant-based in the morning. My first meal had to be plant-based. It had to be. I couldn't eat like a bacon, egg, and cheese in the morning, or I couldn't eat something that was filled with grease and all of that stuff. And I couldn't do it. I had to eat something that was plant-based, that was gonna fuel my body, that had fruits, the right nutrients, the right veggies. Green juices were the key for real though. So, like I said, guys, and I know I took way too long on that specific number right there, but it was because that was one of the numbers that made me click and I went all in. At some point, I highly recommend you guys to do the same. Like I said, if you really want to get to where you want to go to, it's going to take that level of obsession. Remember, it's with you and with your business and a skill. What do you want to learn? Do you want to learn how to trade? You want to learn how to build stores? You want to learn how to, become a better salesperson? You want to learn about real estate? You want to learn about life insurance? You want to learn about credit? Whatever you guys do, it doesn't matter. But focus on becoming the best at it. Okay. I do network marketing. I do digital entrepreneurship. So what did I do? I read all the network marketing books. I studied the trading strategies. I invested into the crypto stuff. I built my own store. Look, I have my own brand, Nano Originals. Guys, how do you think I did that? I became obsessed with the idea of how can I build my own brand? How can I build a store? I studied the skill every day. And what was once something that was unknown to me was now known. Okay. That was what it was. Okay. I became the best at it. That's what it is. That's why nobody could tell me that the business model doesn't work. It does work. It's just people haven't done the work required to understand the business. So that's number 3. Let's go to number 4. Okay. So far, all right, we've said number 1 was it's no one's responsibility to make you happy. That's the first pill. Okay. The second pill we said was that not everybody is going to think like us. Won't make sense to us, won't make sense to everybody. Okay. Number 3, we said no one owes you anything. You are the leader of your own life. No one is coming to save you. Okay. Number 4, all right. Falling for someone's potential of who they could be instead of who they actually are will cause you pain and disappointment if you don't let go. That one was a good one for me. I'm gonna just copy and paste this one. Falling for someone's potential of who they could be instead of who they actually are will cause you pain and disappointment. And this is for everything. This is for business. This is for your significant other. This is for your friends. This is for everything. And I know that this hits for a couple of us here as well. I've experienced this on all levels. I've experienced this on a business level. I've experienced this at a relationship level. Falling for someone's potential of who they could be instead of who they actually are. And it's caused me a lot of pain in the past. It's tough, because remember, you always, if you're like me, you want to see the best. You see the best in everybody. You hope that everybody is, good people like you, and but unfortunately, it's not like that. That's the unfortunate truth, fam. It's not gonna be like that. Exactly, Wally. That potential will get you every time. And I've, because I'm such an optimistic person, I would always see the best in everybody. And, I always thought that everybody would, is good hearted. But unfortunately, it's not like that. Not everybody's good hearted like me. Not everybody has principles. Not everybody has the integrity and the loyalty that I have. And, it's a hard pill to swallow. So don't fall in love. Okay. Don't fall in love with someone's potential of who they could be. Instead, understand that that's who they actually are. Because if not, it will cause you pain and disappointment. Remember, you don't get your heart broken, you get your expectations broken. No one gets their heart broken. People get their expectations broken. And my expectations have been broken more than I could ever imagine. Remember that. You don't get your heart broken, you get your expectations broken. Okay, and that's the reality of the situation. Because think about it, we hold people at a certain expectation, and when they don't meet those expectations, what happens is they just broke them, and it hurts, and it causes you disappointment, and it causes you hurt, because you expected them to treat you a certain kind of way. You expected them to have a certain level of respect, a certain level of integrity, a certain level of loyalty. But when they don't meet that expectation, okay, it hurts, because that's what you expected of them. Okay. One thing I've learned, in Eunice, I'm glad your youngest tells you that, because that was one thing I had to learn from my mentor as well. He told me, Nano, lower your expectations for people. Treat people to the level of expectation that they hold themselves. If they hold themselves to a low expectation, have a low expectation of that person, so that way you don't get yourself hurt. Because the problem with me was, I would hold people at high expectations when they would have themselves at low expectations. So how can I expect something of someone that's this high when they hold themselves this low? It was a recipe for disaster for me. This hold people to the level of expectations that they hold themselves. That was the biggest piece of advice that I learned. You show me who you are, I already know. I'm going to hold you to that level because you already showed me. I got to hold you to that level. You showed me that that's the level of expectation that you hold yourself to. You're okay with slacking off. You're okay with not being disciplined. You're okay with being this kind of person. I got to hold you to that level. Because if I know, right, that you hold yourself to that level, all right, I can't come and hold you to this level now. You haven't proved anything to me to hold you at this level. I can't hold you at a high expectation. I got to hold you at a low expectation for my own sanity. I've learned that myself. I got to hold people to the level of expectation that they hold themselves. And trust me, it works. Now I'm not hurt as much because I've learned to hold people at the level of expectation that they hold themselves. I'm not going to go crazy about it. I used to be the one that used to hold everybody to a high expectation. Nah, not anymore. I got hurt too much with business partners, with other people, with everything, friends, family, significant others. I've been hurt too many times. So now I hold people at the level of expectation that they hold themselves. And if they want me to hold them at a higher standard, then they got to act in accordance with those standards. And that is the reality of the situation. And that was a hard pill for me to swallow. I'm sure it's a hard pill for you guys. One of the best lessons in the world, I agree. Okay, so that's number 4. And then last but not least, number 5, so we can wrap it up here. This is the one. Hard pill to swallow, number 5. Your goals will stay on paper until you make time for them. Your goals will stay on paper until you make time for them. That was another hard pill for me to swallow. And that was the reality of the situation. Okay. You could write down your goals all you want, right? But if you don't work for them, they'll stay on the paper the whole time. I remember there were goals that I wrote down that stayed on paper for months until I actually went and put the work in for them. I used to think, I wrote down my goal. It's going to happen. It's not enough. You have to write. Remember, there's a process. right? You think about it, you write it down, then you got to act. A lot of people will think about it, they would write it down, but then they would forget the last part, which is the act. You got to act on it. And that's the key. You got to get in the habit of acting on your goals every day. We've talked about this already. I don't want to get too deep into it. We've already been on this call for over an hour, but these are the hard pills to swallow right here. I'll go over them one more time from the top. Okay, we said number one, it's not your responsibility. It's number one is it's no one's responsibility to make you happy. That's number one. All right. Number two, we said not everyone thinks like you. So what makes sense to you won't make sense to everybody else. Okay. Number three, no one owes you anything. You are the leader of your own life and no one is coming to save you. Okay. Number four, falling for someone's potential of who they could be instead of who they actually are will cause you pain. That's a hard pill to swallow. We said that. That's number four. And then number five was your goals will stay on paper until you make time for them. Understand that, and that'll be a massive life changer. Those are the 5 hard pills to swallow in life. Okay, I'm sure there's a bunch of others, but those were the ones that were taught to me that made a big impact in my life, and it made me realize who it is that I actually am and what I got to do on a day-to-day basis to become better. Like I said, it's things that we got to learn to accept. Once you accept them, you'll live your life in more peace. All right. So if you guys got value from that, put some 555s in the chat. If you're watching on Instagram, this live is going to end in exactly 15 seconds, guys. So in 15 seconds, this is going to end. If you guys want to come on YouTube for the prayer, feel free to do so. But I'm about to wrap up the call and just end it right there. All right, guys. So, with that being said, I hope you guys had a beautiful call. I hope you guys got a lot of value from this call. And even if you were just listening, I hope you guys were able to gain some perspective from what it was that I covered today, because it really is powerful. It really is powerful what we're covering on this call. We had over 400 people that joined the live on Instagram. We had another 100 plus. So just today, we've had over 500 people, hear this message. And I hope that everybody was able to get a lot of value from this. These are lessons that I've learned that have brought a lot of peace to my life. But I think one of the things that if I was on this call and I was on the other side and I was listening to this, if there was one thing that I would take from this, is taking that time, that dark time, and work heavy on you. And it's just sleep, gym, study, 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 study. Get obsessed, guys, with whatever you're doing. I'm not sure where you guys are at today. If you got what businesses you're in, what skills you guys want to learn. But bro, sis, study. Get obsessed. Act like you have the biggest test of your life coming up and you got to study all day for it. Get in the gym 5-6 days a week. Imagine your reality every day, all day, every day, and watch what's going to happen for you. All right, guys. So I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. I'm going to do a quick prayer for us. Not even much a prayer, but just more than anything, just some gratitude to God for everything. God has given us an amazing week and an amazing start to this fourth quarter. So let's just say thank you real quick. So everybody bow your heads and let's just thank God real quick. God, we just want to say thank you so much for allowing us to wake up on this beautiful Thursday morning. We know you're not done working on us, and that's why you woke us up today. So thank you for our health. Thank you for our families. Thank you for this community, the knowledge, the wisdom. Thank you for forgiving us of our trespasses. Thank you for healing us of all the things that are not serving us. Thank you for removing anything in our life that wasn't bringing any value to us. Thank you for our families. Thank you for everything that you're doing, God. We're extremely happy and grateful for all that you're doing in our lives each and every single day, the accountability that you're giving us, the people that you're bringing into our lives that are pouring into us, the wisdom, the books, the knowledge, all of it, God. There's just so much that's happening in our lives right now that we are thankful for. So we just wanted to come on this call, and on behalf of this whole entire family, I just want to say thank you for it all. You are really working overtime for us, and we see the work each and every single day, and we do not take it for granted, Father. We do not want to ask for anything today. We just want to say thank you. We love you, and we appreciate you. In God's name we pray. Amen. Okay, guys. So with that being said, that wraps today's call up. As you guys know, we do these calls every Tuesdays and Thursdays. All right. We start at about 10:30 a.m. So just stay plugged in with us. More sessions coming up, more fire, lessons coming up. I pray you guys have a beautiful rest of your day, a great weekend as well. And I will see you guys again on Tuesday of next week. Love you guys. Appreciate you guys. And I'll see you guys at the top because you guys already know at the bottom it's way too crowded. God bless, fam. Have a beautiful weekend.